Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that's now quite old, has become very collectible and is becoming increasingly more difficult to find, especially in this mint unopened condition. Now we are looking at the 2002 release by Corgi from their James Bond 007, the Director's Cut series of die-cast models. And this particular one we are looking at today is from Die Another Day, and it is of the Jaguar XKR as seen in the James Bond movie. Now we all know James Bond is a fictional character. He was created by the British novelist Ian Fleming in 1953. He's a British Secret Service agent working for MI6 under the code name of 007. Now, up to date, James Bond has been portrayed on film in 27 productions by different actors. And those actors are Sean Connery, David Niven, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and Daniel Craig. Now, Eon Productions, who holds the adaptation rights to all of Fleming's Bond novels, made all but 2 of those films in the series. Now, Die Another Day was the 20th movie produced by Eon Productions in the James Bond film series, and it was the 4th and final film to star Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. Interestingly enough, it was also the only film to feature John Cleese as Q, and the last movie to feature Samantha Bond as Miss Moneypenny. And it was also the first film since Live and Let Die in 1973 not to feature Desmond Llewellyn as Q, as sadly he had died 3 years earlier. It also starred Halle Berry as Bond girl and NSA agent Jinx. Now, in the film, Bond attempts to locate a traitor in the British intelligence who betrayed him and a British billionaire, who is later revealed to be connected to the North Korean operative who Bond seemingly killed. And there were some fantastic scenes in this movie, especially on the Ice Palace in Iceland. Some scenes in there were just absolutely stunning, and the effects and the vehicle chases were absolutely brilliant. One of the best scenes from any Bond movie, you could argue. Now, the film was very, very popular. It ran for approximately about two and a quarter hours, something like that. Incidentally, the budget for the movie was $142 million. And at the box office, it took $432 million. So a very, very good return on the initial budget, and and I'd say a very, very popular movie. But it was Pierce Brosnan's final outing as James Bond. The next movie wouldn't take place for another 4 years, and that was Daniel Craig's debut as Bond. Okay, and obviously lots of merchandise produced from every Bond movie, especially through the Corgi range. And this particular model we're looking at today is that of the Jaguar XKR that was seen in the movie, especially on the in the Ice Palace in Iceland. Okay, so this is the box it comes in. It says 007, the Director's Cut, and there's that silhouette of James Bond holding his revolver with the silencer on. It says Die Another Day, and you've got working features, and then you've got 007 logo at the bottom there, and the Corgi logo on the bottom right hand side. Okay, that's the front of the box. Let's spin it around to the back and see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the box around to the back, and this is what we got. So again, it says 007, the Director's Cut, Die Another Day, and it's model number CC07603, and it's a Jaguar XKR. It says, has 007 met his match this time, as he is confronted for the first time by a super tech car equal to that of his own, armed with rocket launchers, a Gatling gun and grenade launchers, and driven by a ruthless criminal in severe conditions. Bond will have to have his wits about him if he is to come out on top in this modern day duel between good and evil in the world's most sophisticated vehicles. And you've got 007 logo again and the Corgi logo at the bottom there. And it says on the side here, Die Another Day, CC 07603 was the Corgi number, Jaguar XKR and the Corgi logo. And on the other end, yeah, exactly the same again, Die Another Day, CC 07603, Jaguar XKR and the Corgi logo again. And if we just look at the bottom, it's got Die Another Day, 2002, Dan Jag LLC and United Artists Corporation, all rights reserved, 2002, copyright Eon Productions Limited. Not suitable for children under 14 years. Some models can contain fine detail points or edges. 2003 Corgi Classics Limited, and the Corgi web address there, made in China, and there's all rights are reserved, the barcode and so on, and then you've got the gun barrel logo, which is all copyright and all the rest of the copyright images at the bottom are marked at the bottom there. Okay, so that is the model. Now, there we can see the model behind the window, but I think what we really do need to do is we need to take it out of the box. I don't think this box has ever been opened, so we're going to open the box, we're going to take it out, and we're going to have a very good look at this model itself. Okay, so I've removed the model from the box, and we've hit a little bit of a snag because I can't remove it from the bottom of the box because of the way it's all wrapped up and tied into the bottom of the box there. So we're just going to have to look at it and see it in the box. There is some functionalities on here which I will come to in a moment, before we do that though, this is the instructions, the operating instructions here. So it says fire two missiles, push back to reload. So you push the two missiles into the front of the grill there, which I don't know if you can see that. There's two holes. There's one just where my finger is here. If I can just bend that down a little bit. So there's one where my finger is just there, and there's one on that side as well, which is just there. And you press the torpedoes in, and it says here, pull and press the right side exhaust pipe to release the machine gun. So pull and press the right side to okay, so that releases the machine gun, I'd imagine. Yep, so there's a machine gun in there, and that then machine gun, there we go, there's a machine gun that pops up at the back there, so at least we can see that operating. So that's the machine gun that pops up at the back, and in the back of the packet there you've also got those torpedoes there. So there's 6 torpedoes in that pack there, and they load into the front of the car, as you can see on the instructions there. And there's a button just on the side. I don't know if I can see the button, but there is a button somewhere. It's right just below the windscreen here, and it's right at the bottom there. I just can't get into it at the moment, but it's there. No, it's not, it's on this side. Okay, so you might just be able to see it on that side. There's a little button just in there where my finger is, and that button, you press that button and that will fire your torpedoes from the front. And of course you've got the free rolling wheels, and incidentally, if you look at these wheels, these are the wheels that's got the chain on because of the obviously the extreme weather in Iceland. So there's chains on the tires to enable you to drive without slipping everywhere. So that's why the tires are the way they are. In fact, the chains look absolutely brilliant from the side. From the bottom it just looks like painted tires, but from the side they look absolutely superb. So that is the base model, and that just pops back down again, and you just close it up, and that's your machine gun. And to open it again, you just open the slot and press the exhaust pipe, and up pops the machine gun. And there is the figure. who was the baddie in the film. I can't remember his name, but he was the evil one that was chasing after Bond in the movie. Okay, now this is about a 1/36 scale model, I think. So we're looking at a size about 13 centimeters in length. It is a full die-cast body. There is a little bit of plastic on it, so obviously the bumpers and the interior is all plastic. The figure's plastic, perspex windows, and you've got little bits of plastic along the front bumper, and those whatever they are, those sections in the bonnet. Obviously the wheels are going to be plastic and the tyres are rubber, but generally the rest of it is all die-cast metal. So really lovely looking model this is, with those added working functions. It looks absolutely fantastic. So width wise we're at 5 centimeters, and if we just measure the height from bottom of the tyre to the top of the windscreen, we're about 3.5, but maybe 3 3/4 centimeters there. So that gives you an idea of the size, but it does appear to be about a 1/36 scale model, but really does look the part. And let's have a good zoom in on the model there, and there you can see it in all its glory. Really lovely model, real exact replica of the one from the film. So really does look the part, and that would display in any collection absolutely fabulously. It's a shame I can't take it off the box and we can have a better look at it, but obviously we'd never be able to get it back on again if we did, so we can't do that unfortunately. So it's got to go back into the shop. Okay, so that is the James Bond Jaguar XKR model vehicle from Die Another Day. So how well did this model do, I hear you ask, back in 2002? Well, as you know, James Bond, very popular franchise, and I think it's one of the most popular franchises in the world. The number of Corgi vehicles that have been produced from the franchise is huge and goes right back to the Aston Martin back in the 1960s, which was the very first Bond film that they produced. But they've obviously done multiple releases of Bond vehicles, and they do have a tendency to re-release the same vehicle multiple times, just in different packages or under different series. This particular one, well, I don't remember seeing this in any other size. In this size in any other series. We have obviously seen them in different sizes. There's been smaller versions of these. There's been 1/43 scale, and I think there's been a 150, about 150 or 160 scale versions produced. So there's been quite a number of different sizes of these produced, but I don't recall seeing any others from in any particular different series of this particular size model. I could be wrong, because they do release them in multiple times, but I don't remember seeing, from all the ones that we've had, I don't remember seeing this particular model in any other series. So but as of course all the Bond cars, Corgi and Bond, they're going to sell. It's one of those combinations like egg and bacon. It just all goes together, and people love the models, and they sell out very quickly. I don't know the numbers of these that were produced, but I can tell you they sold extremely well, as did all the Bond cars really. Okay, let's move forward 23 years to 2025, which is where we are today. Do these models come up for sale very often on the platforms? Well, yeah, I mean, you can find them on the platforms, don't get me wrong. I mean, they do pop up from time to time. Not as frequently as you would have expected, not this particular model anyway. You can find a lot of James Bond models on the platforms. They do come up regularly. This particular one, yeah, I did have a look. I think I found one or two others. There's quite a few loose ones around. There's various different size ones around, as I said before. But I think I only saw one or two from this series in this size. So They do come up, but not as often as you would have thought, considering the popularity of the James Bond series. And obviously, of course, if you're going to buy on a platform, usual things apply. Somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable condition. So do have a good look at what you're about to order and read the description carefully, because you could end up with something that, you know, you're not happy with. So do have a good look first. And don't forget, some of the platforms use stock images and stock descriptions, so you could be looking at a mint condition item like this one. However, if there's no new available, they automatically go to the cheapest used item, and that may very well be not what you're looking for. So if it doesn't say new and it only says used, click that link and read what you're about to order, so you're not disappointed when it arrives. I've heard it over and over again where people think they're ordering what the page says, and obviously they're not, because there's no new available, and what they receive is not what they want, and then arguments start and so on. So you know, obviously, to be absolutely sure, click the use link and read what you're about to commit to. Now, obviously, it wouldn't be the fault of the buyer, and it's certainly not the fault of the seller. It's just the way the platforms work, which is silly, really, but there we are. Now, alternatively, you don't need to go for any of that rigmarole. You can come straight to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles, where what you see in front of us is exactly the item you would receive should you wish to order. And this particular item is no different to that. Now, we did buy out stock from a closed down shop just after COVID, and there was a whole case of these Bond vehicles that hadn't been opened and put on the shelf. And I think there's 12 or 14 different models in the case, which we are making available to our customers on our Midas Touch website. Every single one of them is all in pristine condition, and as of today they are available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, or you'll be able to find this and many other vintage James Bond items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody. I'm absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you're looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful vintage James Bond Director's Cut Die Another Day Jaguar XKR die-cast model vehicle with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.